Just want to remind all you guys that are watching the videos, please subscribe. It really helps our channel gain more subscribers and also get more attention on the internet. We've reached right at 12,000 subscribers today. I haven't checked what the number is. Maybe somebody can check later on, but we're about 65 away from 12,000 subscribers. And we've done that in 28 days. We went from 10 to that number very quickly. So I'm very excited. All of that is due to our great lectures, Rabbi Avener, Rabbi Weissman, Steve. You guys do an amazing job, Rabbi Wobi on Sunday morning. So if you're watching for the first time, please take time, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and below on the links on our main page, you'll actually see links to our Instagram and TikTok channel. And a lot of good short videos we did. We did some short ones with Rabbi Avener and and Steve. And so we're really very happy about that. Okay, guys, we're going to get started. This week's Parshah is Shoftim. And I tend to be pretty interested in this because of the fact that it really is speaking of civil government, what to do for the nation of Israel when they get set up. And the idea is that the self-governance, to be able to judge properly, et cetera, et cetera. And I really find it interesting. This was the Parsha that I really saw the first time, how law enforcement was a part of that ancient era, that was a part of their system. And they had a great system. And as Noahides, we can learn a lot about what does it mean to set up courts of justice, and we can have this discussion in a little bit. Now, Moses instructs the people right off the bat, and we see in the text, Deuteronomy 16th chapter, verse 18. It starts off by Moses instructing the people to set up judges, to appoint judges and law enforcement officers in every city. And it says this phrase, justice shall be your pursuit. And that means that everything that you do, everything that is driving your decision is for justice. Now, we understand that when we scream justice in the postmodern era, most people are thinking of free the guy from the jail that did the crime. That's justice. Get the guy out of jail. That's justice. No, but justice in a Torah sense is just favor, the just judgment or the just decision, that it's a right decision based on the Torah law. Bottom line, that's how it works. And so when we're talking about justice, we're talking about the law being applied in an equal manner, which unfortunately, we're living in a society where many governments do not apply the law equally. And we know that very well. We've heard the term, he had the best defense money could buy. So the idea is, if you want a good defense in this country, get a lot of money and make a lot of noise, and possibly somebody will be able to defend you. It's the crimes. This is really interesting. Must be meticulously investigated. It's one of the things that I really appreciated coming from law enforcement myself, knowing that law enforcement officers have a choice to be meticulous or sloppy in their investigation. And though the law requires you to be meticulous, there are a lot of people who are not meticulous. And this is the reason why we have such a, quote, miscarriage of justice throughout this country in some instances with people and their experiences with whatever law enforcement agency has dealt with them. And we've heard of cases where people have been committed to prison for 20 or 30 years for a crime that they were never guilty of, only because one piece of evidence was not admitted in, or because they were sloppy on the investigation. So this idea that crimes must be meticulously investigated and evidence through examining every element of the crime, the people, and this is what's really amazing. The minimum of how many people need to be witnesses. What were the minimum? 2, right? And these 2 people had to be of the most impeccable character. They themselves cannot be impeachable. It's just a requirement. Now, in every generation, it says that Moses will be those that will be entrusted the task of interpreting and applying the laws of Torah. It's another great lesson for us as we've gone through this cycle of studying Torah, with our Jewish friends and brothers and sisters, we've learned that the uh, the Torah itself has been given with a great sense of responsibility to the Jewish people. And they have the obligation, according to the Torah, to interpret the Torah as the sages have interpreted, to continue to look at the issues and wrestle with the judgments, and to realize that the Jewish people have had the responsibility of making sure that Torah, that book, is interpreted and applied in every aspect. Now, why do I say the obvious? We all in the rooms would say that. I'm sure Rabbi Avner were like, duh, that's no brainer. But let me just say, for those of us who come from where we came from, we would say, oh, no, the reason why Judaism is so wrong is because they messed it up. They've just interpreted through their own men. It just came through the minds of other men. I had a prominent, and I've told you guys this before, Karaite, who asked me one time, very prominent Karaite. He goes, "Hey, you left the church. Why? Do you follow after the dictates of the Torah, of the oral Torah and the Torah?" And I said, "Well, yeah, absolutely, 100%." And he goes, "I don't understand why you would leave Christian oral law and just take on Jewish oral law." And I said, I can tell you right now, without even missing a beat, it's because in Torah, in Christian oral law, they are attempting to take me toward Avodah Zarah. They're attempting to entice me with some level of idolatry. The Holy Torah has never done that and never will do that. That's the reason why I don't give the same credit to the two. Now, can we ascribe some wisdom to that literature? Yes, of course there is, because most of it comes from Jewish thinking. Now, Shoftim includes the prohibition against idolatry and sorcery. Sandy and I and Nancy had a short discussion about a couple of things that may be idolatry. Was it idolatry? But I think it fell under, what was it? Fell under the category of charms. Help me out, Sandy.
We were talking about the Hamsa.
Hamsa, the charms, medallions, what do you call crystals, all those things. Like, is that idolatry? Is it sorcery? And then we went back to Rambam's Mishnah Torah that was saying, well, it may not be either one of those things. However, it is what do you call it? Like a charm, amulet, something that brings you good luck. And now I can't answer for the Hamza. I think that's how it's said, right, Sandy? Maybe Rabbi Avner can answer to that in a minute. But the Hamza, I don't know. I just feel uncomfortable with attempting to ascribe something as a charm or good luck to me, besides maybe the Torah. But that is about it. I couldn't ascribe anything as being my savior, my holy grail of goodness. So anyway, we'll go on with that. There was a laws governing the appointment and behavior of the king, the laws of the king, the guidelines of the creation of the cities of refuge, which is a beautiful story in and of itself. We can get into that if you want. And this was only for inadvertent murder. There's been a lot of discussion on what inadvertent murder would be, but obviously killing somebody by accident. That's the way you boil it down. Also, there were several layers of added to the laws of land warfare, which we now in the 21st century still attempt to follow after as much as possible. Warfare is not pretty. I don't care who's doing it. It's just not good. It's not pretty. Also, these exemptions from battle, like what would exempt a fellow from battle. The requirement offers terms of peace also for a city. If you're going to attack it, you say, here we go. We'll set out the Noahide laws. You can live as you want. We're not here to change your culture, but clearly here are the Sheva Mitzvot that you can live by. If you want to live peacefully with this, fine. If not, you're going to have to leave. I mean, that's bottom line the way it was done, and it was done with tremendous amount of mercy. It talked about laws on how to conduct war, that you couldn't destroy fruit trees or anything that would be life-bearing. It was just prohibited. The Parshah concludes with the law of the Eglah Refuah, the special procedure to be followed when a person is killed by an unknown murder, and his body is found in a field. And we've had discussions on this about it underscores the impeccable responsibility community has for everyone. And that's even for the stranger, somebody they don't know. I take it as far as I'm driving down the road, and if I see an animal that's dead on the side of the road, I don't want it to be laying there too long because it just seems odd and weird. I don't know. By the way, if you find that in the state of Texas, just call the precinct that you're in, and they'll come pick the animal up and bury it. That's they bury thousands of animals a week like that. It's crazy. Anyway, that concludes the Shoftim overview. So let's get into the discussion. Everybody, turn your mics on and clear your throats, and let's get into the depth here.